Welcome, everybody, once again to another wonderful lesson. This is part two of our lesson 17 on automation with Python. By going through these lessons, we want to explore multiple ways in which Python is used to help our day-to-day life. And writing code to make tasks run automatically is something that will really open your mind to understand how Python can be used in the real world. Our goal is to ensure that you understand the language, you are familiar with it, and confident using Python. We are going to be doing a lot of Python studies, and we want you to put yourself in it and understand it really well. Let Python be your first tech language. Someone said English is my second language. Let Python be your first tech language. Understand it well. Those of you who understand the importance of Python, you understand that if you master this, you really have a valuable skill that can affect the whole world, can affect modern technology, can tremendously elevate your career. So let's learn Python, let's understand it, and let's explore various ways of using this particular language. So welcome to class. And today we want to take part two of what we started last week. Before we get into it, I want to give you a short motivational message. It says that life only gets better when you get better. Life only gets better when you get better. You have to get better. And it is when you become better that the opportunities that are possible and available to you become better. If you are not better, you cannot attract better opportunities. If you don't have the skills it takes, you cannot operate in certain circles. But with the right skills, you are going to be called on great stages. You are going to be sitting with popular people. You are going to be invited to global television, and you are going to do amazing things. I remember when I was a kid, some people I saw on television who were celebrities that we all admire. A time came, I was sitting in the same office with them every day. It was such a shock. These are celebrities, people we see from home and we celebrate every day. A time came, I shared offices with many celebrities. From the two media companies that I worked with, it was just amazing. We have celebrities coming in every day for interviews, for shows, for different things. And the newscasters who were so popular over the years, they are our friends and a whole lot. Sometimes your life can change. Your sphere of influence can change. The kind of relationships you have will change. The kind of opportunities, the kind of deals that come to you will change. But all of that will happen when you get better. I believe that we should learn. I believe that we should acquire skills. I believe that we should be intelligent. Yes. 2 days ago, I was telling the data class that before we do machine learning, let's first do human learning. Before we do machine learning, let's do human learning. Let's not just train the machine to learn. Let's train ourselves to learn. I want you to learn. I want you to be intelligent. I want you to be smart. I want you to be able to write Python code without using AI. All right? If you use AI, it's a machine learning doing it for you. The machine is thinking and solving it. But I want you to also be a human learning model to also think and solve, because we wrote the code first before AI was able to write the code. So why not you? You have to write the code. You have to engineer the process. You have to think critically. And I want us to learn so hard that we will be able to challenge the global technology. Let's learn hard. Very soon, we are going to be doing amazing things. A lot of news will be coming from us and a lot of news from our heroes and our students. So let's learn hard. Let's learn hard. Let's learn hard. I believe we should learn hard. I believe so much. Yes. Don't be ordinary at all. Don't be ordinary. Let's advance. Let's advance. Let's advance. Let's advance. Please put let's advance in the chat for me. Let's advance. Let's advance. Put that in the chat for me. Let's advance. Let me see who will do that first. Let's advance. Thank you, Tato. Thank you, Timothy. Let's advance. Thank you, Emeka. Let's advance. Let's advance. So thank you so much. And welcome to Automation with Python, Part 2, performing repetitive tasks automatically. Yes, sometimes you have a lot of tasks to work on that are so boring, For example, you need to retrieve emails from people's profile or people's CVs. Let's say you are even in HR and you want to send emails to a number of people. Let's say a lot of people applied, thousands of people applied. You need to send an email to them, and the only way to get the email is from their CVs. So are you going to sit down and copy the emails one by one? There are some things that are just so boring. Sometimes you have to enter data into systems. So many years ago, there were a lot of data entry jobs because companies couldn't let their staff be entering data. So they create websites and allow anyone who can do data entry to apply because it is such a boring task. In today's age, we need to be able to write code to do certain things. That is why we are looking at automation. And so we will explore how to automate tasks just to understand the language. And once you understand it, you can be creative enough to use it to do any type of automation. All right. So last week we started by saying what is automation? What is automation? And we said automation refers to the use of scripts, programs, and tools to perform repetitive tasks automatically. First of all, the tasks are repetitive tasks that you have to be doing it the same way every day, so many times. I mean, if anything is like this, then you should think of automation. If there's something you do the same way every day, no, it shouldn't be a human doing this. All right. So things like these are the things that machines were created for. These are the things that robots were created for. You are not supposed to be doing this. All right. I don't know if you remember, but one time I told you a story of a factory worker whose job was to pick something from here and drop it here. So every day when he goes to work, he picks something from here, he drops it here. He picks from here, he drops it here. He picks from here, he drops it here. That is all he does every day. So he's been doing this like this for 20 years. For 20 years. And sometimes when he's not even at work, then he's just doing this. People don't understand why he's doing this. And there's no reason for him to be doing that. But because he's been doing it at work every day, It has become part of him. And when he's not even aware he's doing it. I don't think humans should be doing that. He just pick from here and drop it here. That's all he does every day for 20 years. One guy was so confused. He got to the bus station. He got there. He knocked the door of the bus, opened it, removed his shoes and his slippers and entered the bus, and the bus left. He got to the bus station. He knocked the door, opened it, removed his slippers, sat in, closed the door, and the bus left. Why? It's because he's doing things that he's not supposed to be doing. Things that machines should be doing, he's doing it. So he's so confused. How can you go to a car and remove your shoe at the station? So sometimes we just need to automate some things. Yes, and automation is something so powerful. If you're in business and you can automate something, be thinking of automation because it is a key to business success. If there is something that happens the same way every day, every time, I mean, it's always the same process. It's repetitive. So we have to automate it. And if you can automate repetitive tasks, then what happens is that you can scale, okay? It can become bigger. You can scale the automation because the automation is a machine and the machine will not get tired. Machine will not give excuse. Machine will not complain. Yeah, there are some things you just need machines to do it. That is automation. And any type of business that have applied automation has scaled and become bigger. Yeah, so let's all be creative and be thinking of automation in our business, in our everyday work, our lives, and in our computer programs. All right, so automation refers to the use of computer scripts, programs, or tools to perform repetitive tasks automatically with minimal or no human intervention. Python is the best language for automation due to its simplicity and extensive library support. Extensive library support. So I'm going to ask a number of questions. I'll start with my first question. And my first question is the OS module. What is the OS module? Last week, we were introduced to the OS module. What is the OS module? Who can tell me something about the OS module? Yes, just put it in the chat. Try not to search for anything. You see, some of the certification exams that we are going to be writing and all that we are doing, we are only going to be successful when we do from memory. Okay, so sometimes you should be able to understand things, remember things, think. Okay, yes, because it's not everything you should quickly look up. Yes, there are certain things you have to look up, but it's not everything that you should look up. All right, so someone says it's a module that allows the program to interact with the operating system. I love that already. Yampandi says that it is used to interact with the operating system. That's so powerful. Louisa says a built-in Python module used to interact with the operating. That's all, you all got it. Yes, yes, I've gotten a lot of responses. Thank you. Thank you. So this is a very powerful module in Python. And if you don't understand what a module is a Python script that can be used again. That is even automation. You see? So in Python, we have something called code reuse. Please type it in the chat for me. Code reuse. Code reuse. Because we keep on writing code, there are certain tasks that they are the same. So you yourself, a time will come, you realize that you create the same script to authenticate a system. Let's say you are creating a web portal and there's a login page, like the student portal you are using. I wrote the login script. You realize that you are a developer, and anytime you are creating a login system, it's the same authentication system you use. So why should you write the code every time? So you can put that code together as a module so that you just import it anytime you need it. You see? And in the whole Python community, we have realized that some things are definitely the same. They are written the same way. So why should we allow everybody to write the code? So intelligent people have put them together and they have made it open source. So there are libraries that you can just import written by another guy, a third party, so long as the community likes it. So you to a time will come, you can also write a library. If the Python community likes it, it can be adopted and people can start importing it. A module is just code reuse in a single file. If there are multiple files, so you've done several reusable codes and you've put it in a folder, and there are many, and they're in a single folder, you have to create an init file in it. There's a file called init.py. Once you create an init file, that folder that contains all the single scripts together is called what? Who can tell me? Together is called what? That folder, single folder containing multiple is called package. All right. So when we say a package is a collection of several modules. So the whole idea is about modules. When there are many and together, they can be given a collective name, probably because they all do similar things. So they've been put in one folder. So we say a package. So anytime you hear someone saying package, he's talking about multiple modules in a single directory. Then anytime you hear someone saying a library is like taking one package and having several packages all together in another directory. So you see, when you create a folder or a directory, you can have single files in it, or you can have several directories. Each directory has its own directories. Each subdirectory has its own files. When you come out, another directory also has another set of directories and files mixed together and a whole lot. So when this time we are not talking about a single directory, but we are talking about multiple directories all together in another mother directory, then that mother directory, we call it a package. So it all stems from module. It's actually the modules we need. But if they are alone, we call them a module. If they are in a directory together, single directory, we call it a package. And if it is a serious and a mother directory with more packages within the same directory and more modules within the same directory, that kind of collection is called a library. So anytime you hear a library, that is just what it means. So last week we took the OS module, and for the OS module, you see, we said that it comes from the Python standard library. This means Python itself has a library, and Python itself has several modules and packages within it. So if it is from Python itself, then you don't have to download it, because when you install Python, you got it. So we say that it is from the Python standard library. But if it is not from Python itself and it was created by someone else but adopted into the Python community, then it is something that you have to install. So any library you install, any module you install, it means someone else created it. My question is, pandas in the Python standard library, yes or no? Pandas. We all know pandas. Is it in the Python standard library? Yes or no? Okay. 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 Have you ever installed pandas? Have you ever installed pandas? Have you ever installed pandas? Okay. So we install pandas with pip. So once you call pip, Python's package manager, and you install it, the fact that you are installing it means it is not in the Python standard library. The fact that you are installing simply means that it is not in the Python standard library. Yes, so that is it. Thank you, Robley. All right, so last week we looked at the OS module and we were able to use the OS to automatically rename files. It was such an interesting task, and I've seen most of your assignments, and this can be used at a whole new level. It's so powerful. You can interact with the whole operating system using this OS module. So the OS module, just for recap, is a built-in module in Python, and it is used to interact with the operating system. It performs system-level operations such as creating files and directories, renaming files and directories, moving, searching, deleting files and directories. All right. All right. So I think this was the project we worked on last week. And there was one particular method called the list dir, list dir. And just for my last recap, what is that method used for? Who can remember? Okay, just remember. Who can remember? Who can remember? Okay, so for you to be a serious developer, it doesn't mean you'll never search, you'll never research, you'll never look up for anything. You will. But because you are exposed to a whole lot of things, you are able to get a lot of connections in your brain to help you know the right way to solve problems and to help you remember how to solve certain problems you've done over and over again. All right, so it can create a list out of the files in the folder path. So that's exactly what we used it for, and it was so good. It created a list, we transferred the list into image files. All right, my next question here is this. This will lead us to our next automation project. Now, how do we make Python run a task automatically at a specific time, like sending a reminder every morning? Okay, how do we make Python run a task automatically at a specific time? For example, sending a reminder every morning. How can we achieve that? If you have any idea, I'm just giving you 15 seconds. If you have any idea, let me see in the chat. How can we make Python? First of all, is it possible? Okay, someone says we can use a this library. That's very good. Thank you so much. That is really, really good. Yes, that's really, really good. Okay, date time. That's really, really good. That's wonderful. And loops. Okay. All right. Now think about the question carefully. Like every morning, a reminder every morning. Think about it. So how will your Python script be running every day to remember the morning? You can achieve that through task automation. And last week, we talked about certain types of modules and libraries that helps to automate tasks. And some key ones are OS, which we've looked at. Then we have request, which we already know what request is used for. Who can tell me what requests is used for? What is request library used for? What is request used for? Just one person, and I'm good to go. Just one person. What is requests? What is it used for? Requests. All right. All right. So someone says it's used to browsing. I'll take it. So if you want to access the internet, you can use request in your Python. Wow. That library is so powerful. Then we have another one called schedule. Thank you, Bernardine. Schedule. So this can be used to schedule tasks. And the question I gave, it sounds like schedule can play a part. Then we have SMTP-lib. This SMTP-lib is very, very powerful. You can use it to send emails. All right, so wait a minute. You want to send an email every morning. Then you may need schedule, you may need SMTP-lib. If you've done your webmaster course, you realize that SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is used on web servers to send emails. And in Python, we have a library called SMTP-lib. Very, very powerful. And if you want to work with Excel file, we have OpenPyXL or OpenPixel. And this is used to do automation when it comes to working with Excel files. You can enter the Excel files, update data, insert data, do a whole lot with Excel files. But who knows any library that can visit the web and fill forms automatically? Who knows any library that can fill forms automatically? It can fill forms on websites. Someone says Selenium. If we have time, we'll explore Selenium because Selenium can visit the web, do web searches automatically, allow you to scrape data after certain searches, can fill forms for you automatically, can interact with websites automatically. So instead of just extracting the data, Selenium can actually do work on the website, can do work on the websites, like filling forms. All right. So we want to look at schedule. And this particular schedule, I want you to install it right now. And very soon I'm going to be calling people at random for them to share their screens because I want you to be participating. Yes, maybe today, maybe not today, but soon I'm going to start asking people to share their screens at random. So you don't know if I'll be calling you. So I just want you to be active in the class. Yes, I don't want you to be sleeping. For example, today someone said I was eating wache. I don't know how the person thought I was eating wache. I don't want you to be sleeping when you are learning Python. I don't want you to be doing something else. I want you to be actively in, I want you to be part of the coding process so that you learn and you understand it. All right. So please install this and let me see if you're able to install it. If it works, let me know in the chat if you're able to install it. So just do pip install schedule, do it and let me see if it works. And I'll tell you what we'll do about it. All right, so this schedule library allows us to run tasks at a specific time. Wow. For example, every minute, every hour, every day, at specific times. All right, so Emeka is done. All right, so Emeka, let me give you some. I want you to use your IDE now that you've installed it and type schedule, import schedule first, then schedule dot, and tell me the methods that will pop up. Okay, the methods that will pop up after I type schedule dot. Just try that and let me see what will pop up, and I will see if it works. So if it works, let me see. Okay. Yes. You are using VS Code. So just try it. Now that just import it and try schedule dot and tell me some of the methods that you are seeing. All right. So this particular library is another library we are exploring. All right. So if you ever do automation, this is one of the libraries you will probably use. Okay, because this can let you run a task at a specific time. You can say every minute, do something. Every 10 seconds, do something. Every 1 hour, do something. Every day, do something. Every Monday, do something. Every Tuesday at 3 p.m., do something. You can even state a day and a time or a week and a month. This is it. And if you want to run a script that automatically does certain things at a specified time, then this is it. After you use okay, please do the Python extension. I want to see, of course, if you are using VS Code with Python, you need to install the Python extension. So please do that for me. I want to see the methods that will show. After you use schedule to write your script, you can actually use your computer's system. Okay. Okay. So Ato, please write dot every and let me see if it shows dot every if it will be part of them. Do you see dot every Ato? Schedule dot every is every showing? Yes. Okay. So Ato has it. Ato has Ato has it. So please try and install it. Try and install it. And if you are unable to install it, or after you install it, if your system is still not recognizing it, then you let me know. All right. So this is it. Now, your computer, listen to me, has several tools that can allow you to run any program on startup. So anytime you boot up your computer can run automatically. For example, if you have antivirus, the moment your computer starts, the antivirus starts. If you have, there are certain applications that you realize that they start automatically because they are run by the system. So you can actually allow some scripts like this to run automatically. This means that as your computer is on every day, these scripts are running in the background. This is the only way you can say that every Wednesday do something because the script is running every time. So after you write it in Python, you can schedule it now to run anytime the computer comes on. Yes, that is how your computer will remember it. Okay. This is useful for reminders, data backups, notifications, reports, and so much more. To set up your environment, you need to install schedule because this is not included in Python standard library. So you have to install it using pip. And you have to do pip install schedule to have it. Okay, so Nyapandi is having an issue. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is probably because the version of Python is not compatible with it, probably. So I will want us to update our Python itself and see if it works now. But at least Ato has it, so we know that it works. But some people are not getting it. I know why I'm asking you to do this. So let's all make sure that it works. If not, we will try several options to see which one works. But after this library is installed, then you can work with this. And I'm going to give you a small homework after we explore this library, and I'll let you on your own to use it to do something. If it's not working, just make it work. Find out what to do, and let's collaborate. Everyone contributes. Those who get it right will share, and then we will all solve it. All right. So our second project, we are going to automatically schedule a task at a consistent time interval. After this, in our next project, we will allow our system to automatically send emails, and we can use the scheduler to schedule it to run or send a mail at a particular time. All right. So we are going to try this by printing a message every 10 seconds. All right. So if you want to write a program like this, what you do is, first of all, import schedule. So you open your IDE, you import schedule, and then after you import this, we can define a function to perform a simple task. So for example, we just created a function. If you remember how to create a function, this is a simple function. The function, all that it is doing is to print welcome to Retail Africa. Okay, so that's what the function is doing. That's all. So this is just a function. Then this is how we use the schedule. This is how we use it. So this code is saying that schedule dots every, this is schedule dots every into bracket 10. Please type that line for me. Schedule in the chat, please. Schedule dot, and this schedule is from the import we did. So schedule dot every, then 10 dot seconds dot do. This is how we use it. Then the greet, I want you to tell me, let me just tell you, the greet is a function that you created. So you see that your function performs an operation, and you have created your scheduler with a specified time. Then you call your function. You don't want to write code inside those parentheses. And over here, when you call a function, don't bring the function's parentheses. Just give the name like that. Because that function already performs an operation. And we know that a function can perform even a very, very complex operation. So you put all your operations in the function, and then over here, you give it to the scheduler. Now, what we see, schedule.every 10.seconds, you can change the seconds to minutes. You can change it to day. You can say day.at. Then you give a time before the do. You can say dot, instead of day, you can say dot Monday, dot Tuesday, dot Wednesday, dot Thursday. So what I'm going to do is that I want Ato to share his screen, and we will explore various ways of using this particular scheduler or schedule library, and we will use it to run the script we have and try several options. Now, after this, you can create a loop to keep the script running. So we have this code that says that schedule.run pending. And what this will do is that it's a method in this particular library that will run any task that has been scheduled. So if you say run pending, then it will look for any task that is due, then it will run it. So you can put that under the loop. Now, when we run this code, it's going to run very, very fast because we know how fast loops run. So after we are able to write this code on Ato's machine, what we will do is that we will introduce a delay. So we will call the time module and tell it to delay for, let's say, 1 second or 2 seconds or 5 seconds before doing the next task. Okay, because we don't want it to be too fast. All right, so Ato, if you are ready, let me know in the chat. Are you ready to share your screen? All right, so just share your screen for me. Since your library is working, just share your screen and then we'll try several options. Okay, sorry about that. So, okay. So please share your screen. And let's write the whole code from scratch. Let's write the whole code from scratch. So please try again. You should be able to. Good. All right. Can you zoom in a little because we can't see at all? Okay. So you can just increase the font size or you press Windows and plus, and let's see. So just press the Windows plus, keep pressing the plus, and let's see. Another one will do. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's good. So you imported schedule. Please hit enter after the import schedule. That's the code. All right. So, okay, kindly minimize that thing. All right. And your left panel, can you minimize it too? Move to the far left. Oh, okay. Yes. Click on it. Click on it. Yes. Good. Okay, that's great. So when you get to every 10, after where the seconds is, please change the seconds. You typed it wrongly. Double click the seconds and clear it completely. And let's see if it will good. You see that now it has changed the color. So just go to dots and let's see what is it. Clear everything before that. So no, the seconds. Clear the whole seconds to the dots. No, to the right. Sorry. After that, rather. Yes. Okay. Clear the dot and press the dot again and let's see. Okay, good. So over here, scroll through these methods we have here. So what we can see is that we can see day. So you can say every dot day. We also have days. So every 10 days, you see, we have Friday, we have hour, we have hours. Scroll through and let's see some of them. Good. We have minutes, Monday, Saturday. We have all of these here. Yes, and you can use all of them. All right. So let's use the seconds. So type the seconds now. And then press the dot again. Okay, now type the do. Yeah, so you can see that all of them are here. The tab, press the tab key, or just open the parentheses. and then put the function in. The function is called greet. Okay. So here, what you want to understand is that what you want to do should be in your function. So you should be able to write an intelligent function to perform an operation, because a function performs an operation when it is called. Over here, because we are now learning, we just said it should just print one message. You can let it do a whole lot. You can let it do web scraping over there. You can let it send an email over there. You can let it do a whole lot over there. You see, so this is where we call it. And the line he has written now is how you schedule it. All right. So keep the script running to execute the scheduled tasks. While true will start the while loop. So this is a for loop. This is a while loop. Then run schedule.run pending. Clear the run pending and press the dot and let me see what will show. After the schedule, clear the dot and press the dot again. The dot. Good. The run pending, you can see that it's already there. So select the run pending again. All right. So this is the code, add the parentheses. All right. So we are not going to run it yet. Don't run it yet because this is going to be very fast, because we all understand how fast computers are, and it runs billions of cycles per second. So what we are going to do is to slow it down. So let's call another module called time. So please import the time module. Go to the top and say import time. This time is in the Python standard library, so we are not going to download it. So import time. And the reason to do that, we are doing that is just to slow it down. All right, good. Now go down to the last line within the loop, within the while loop. Just scroll down and say time.sleep. Hit enter and say time.sleep, and then into brackets, put 3. So what this means is that after it runs the schedule, it should wait for 3 seconds before doing the next one. So if everything is right, it should work now. Please press the control minus to remove the zoom, and let's see. Okay, you know what? No, it's okay. Leave it like this. Run it now and let's see. Just run it now and let's see. Run it now and let's see. Okay. Is this the ID you've been using? Okay, so we can see welcome to Rita Africa. And please, class, what can you see happening? Please scroll down a little. Move your mouse down a little. So guys, move your mouse to the left a little. What can we see happening? What is happening now? Who can tell me in the chat? What is going on now? Welcome, Yvonne. It is printing welcome to Rita Africa every 3 seconds. You see? So this is not a loop per se. You know, loops can do things. And you can just create a loop to print. Please listen. You can create a loop to print welcome to Rita Africa, and you can use time to delay your loop. So this thing should work without what we've done. Just a simple loop can do this. But what is happening here is not just about a simple loop. Over here, there is an automation going on, and this automation is stating the time and day it should do that based on the instruction. So we are just saying 3 seconds. We can actually find a particular time and give that instruction to the script. So this is not an ordinary loop. This is a scheduled task. So please cancel it, end the loop. You can press Ctrl C to end the loop. All right, now let's go back to the scheduler and let's make some few changes and see. All right, so today is Wednesday. Let's try and use the day and the time and see if that will happen. So go to the every, remove the 10 from the every, the parentheses. All right, then clear the seconds and change it to day. The every should be empty. Good. Change it to day. Okay, so this is every day. Dot at then into brackets, sorry, parentheses, the same as into brackets. Then type in quotes a string. So let's give a time. So I don't know the time. You're in Ghana, right? It should be in the parentheses, okay? The quote should be in the parentheses. It's a string. So give the next 1 minute. Looking at your time, give the next 1 minute. So say if it is 8 o'clock, it will be 08:00. So right now, use your time and let's see. So maybe 07 colon. Good. Then after the parentheses, type dot do and then call your function. Good. Excellent. So this is one way we can schedule it. Okay. So one thing we can do is to also find the various ways of using this particular library, because these things, you don't have to memorize them. You just have to check the documentation to see the various ways of using it. So it can do all of these multiple things. So before the time is up, if the time has passed, change the time and run it again, and let's see. And we will realize that this is not an ordinary loop, but this is happening because of the time or the scheduling we have done. So change the time and run it, and let's see. Okay, so it says 26. Let's run it and see. After this, we are going to use a specific day. Okay, you didn't stop the first one. Please stop the code. So the loop has been running. Press Ctrl C and let's see. This thing, yeah, cancel that thing. Okay. All right. So run it and let's see if it will respond. Of course, it will respond. That is what the code does. After this, we will try a specific day. Then I will give you your homework to work on it, and that'll be it. So when it shows, you let us see it. Or if it's okay, is it time? So that means in the next 3 seconds or so, we should see it. Okay, so if the time didn't work, you can try the time format. Probably this is looking at AM. So use the 24-hour format. If only you are running it. Okay. Okay. So you've ended it. Use a 24-hour format and let's see. Okay. Okay. So when it gets there, we will see. So please move to the code. When it's time, you bring us here to check if it is there. Now we've all seen that it's not there. So when it shows, we will see. So where we see the day, you can actually put a specific day. If you want to use, let's say, minute or hour, you can type it there. So previously we used dot second. If you don't want a dot second and you want dot minute, you can use dot minute. If you want to use dot hour, you can use. So what will help is that anytime you want to use a schedule library, you need to check the documentation to see all the possible ways of using it so that you use it based on your project's needs. You see, the way you use it, it has to suit your project because you can use it in multiple ways. You can choose a specific day and a specific time. So the last one we'll be trying will be a specific day and a specific time. So let's check the code. I think it should be time. If nothing is wrong, then okay. Did it work? Let me see in the chat if it worked. Did it work, class? Did it work? Let me see in the chat if it worked. All right, so it worked. Okay, so that is it. We've seen it. The last one we'll be trying will be a specific day. So let's go to the code again. Please end the loop. The loop is still running. Break the loop with Control C. Okay, good. All right. So instead of day, change it to Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so put Wednesday there. And then change the time again. And let's go back there and watch it. See if it will recognize Wednesday. So good. Run it and let's go there. And if it works, then this will be the end of our presentation today. We'll have another class where we use SMTP to send emails in Python. So let's go and check and wait. Move your mouse down a little and let's see if, okay, it just worked. All right, so we've all seen it. Welcome to Rate Africa. And on that note, welcome to Rate Africa. And here we are learning to become experts in tech. Please don't take your Python classes lightly at all. And we have to understand that the skills or the Python skills doesn't just come by attending class. That is just 10 to 15 to 20%. It doesn't also come by just watching the video. It comes by you writing code. All right. So for your Python to be effective, you have to get hands-on. All right. And the best way to make it work is when you can add brainstorming to it and creativity to it. And also when you are doing an assignment or you are doing a real world project, that is where the skills remain with you. You will not have to memorize everything, but you need a lot of exposure, a lot of experience. And when the time comes for you to use Python, you will solve your problem. And when you are really working on a serious project, you are free to research, but then you understand it, you'll be able to do it because you understand what you are doing. You have the foundation, you have the understanding. So, question. If we say we are waiting for the next prompt or the next output, if we say we are waiting for the next output, Do you think it will come today? Yes or no? Will the next output come today? Yes or no? All right. Some people say no. And so definitely this is where we end our session today. I'm going to share an assignment with you right now. This is going to be your homework. Please work on it. Do some brainstorming. Don't just don't just let AI solve it for you. Do some brainstorming here and solve it. So it's a PDF. Let me upload it to the OneDrive and give you the link to download it as usual. So okay, so let me upload it here. It's done. Let me give permission. All right. So if your schedule is not working, please make it work. Find out what is wrong and make it work, because we've all seen that it works. It works. So this assignment, if you've downloaded it, let me see done in the chat. When you download it, let me see done. So Arthur, you can stop sharing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So if you've seen it, let me see done in the chat. And the first person to get it is Robley. Robley is doing so well on top. So please, let's learn hard. Let's learn hard. Let's learn hard. All our careers require Python. Let's use this opportunity to really learn. Really learn. I like the way Benedine says that now the focus is Python. I like that. I'm so inspired by that. Okay. When I see these things, they move me so much. Okay. Your life will get better when you get better. When you get better. So the work we are doing now, the time will come, our celebrations will be based on the countries we are, will be based on the companies we are running, will be based on the projects we are doing, the international deals we are handling, will be based on the salaries we are getting from the whole world, will be based on the bigger things. So let's not just count the days, let's make the days count. Let's make today count. And to end the class, I want to find out if you've learned anything at all today. Have you learned anything today? Let me see in the chat. If you've learned anything today, let me see in the chat. Yes, Norbert. Thank you so much, a lot. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining. Let's be quick to join and let's continue learning. Thank you so much. And we will meet again. And one important announcement is that although you are in the root phase, since we are going to be having some important lessons in the specialization phase, you will be invited to certain lessons, okay? So make sure your self-study is consistent. In the specialization phase, we are learning some important things, and you will be invited. So when you see an invitation to a specialization lesson, please join in your field. So thank you all, and I'll see you in the next class. All the best. Bye-bye.